Dogs are known for their loyalty and affection, but imprinting is something else entirely. This deep bond goes beyond the usual pet and owner relationship, showing that your dog trusts you with their life. It's a truly rare and special connection. So here are 7 behaviors that signal your dog has imprinted on you. Sleeping with you. Now, this isn't just because your bed is comfier than the floor or because you have the softest blankets in town. In the wild, dogs sleep in packs, close to the ones they trust the most. Dogs are most vulnerable when they're asleep, so choosing to sleep with you is their way of saying they feel safest when you're around. So, when your furry friend snuggles up with you at night, they're basically saying, "You're my pack." Also, your scent is incredibly comforting to your dog, and sharing a sleeping space allows them to be surrounded by it all night long. Plus, let's be honest, you're pretty warm, and in the dog world, warmth means survival. So, in a way, sleeping with you is like hitting the jackpot for them. Mirroring your personality. Researchers have found that dogs can indeed reflect their owner's emotions and behaviors. If you're a couch potato, chances are your dog might be one too. Or if you're all about that early morning jog, your furry friend is likely on board with the active lifestyle as well. This fascinating behavior extends to emotional states too. Studies have shown that if you're the type to worry a lot, your dog might pick up on that anxiety. On the flip side, if you're the eternal optimist, always looking at the bright side, your dog can absorb that positivity. Think of them as emotional sponges, soaking up the vibe you're putting out into the world. But how do they do it? Well, it all comes down to the incredible bond dogs share with their humans. They're always paying attention to us, learning from our actions and reactions. This means they can adapt their own behavior based on what they observe in us, listening to you, but not others. This behavior is especially significant considering dogs' social structure. Studies have shown that dogs are capable of understanding human social hierarchies and can distinguish between different family members' roles and statuses. When your dog listens to you above others, it's a sign they recognize you as the primary caregiver and authority figure. This recognition isn't arbitrary. It results from your consistent training, the tone of voice, body language, and the unique bond you've established with them. Moreover, this selective obedience highlights the importance of consistency in training and interaction. Dogs thrive on consistent rules and routines, and your unique way of communicating commands and rewards has likely made a profound impact on them. This consistency helps strengthen your bond and reinforces their trust in your leadership. Laying in your laundry. It's actually all about your scent. To your dog, you smell like safety, comfort, and love all rolled into one. In moments when you're not around, surrounding themselves with your scent can help reduce their anxiety and make them feel closer to you. Dogs laying in your laundry is a sign of their territorial behavior too. By mixing their scent with yours, they're marking their territory in the most adorable way possible. Knows when you're upset. This goes beyond simple pet-owner relationships. It's about a profound connection where your dog is deeply attuned to your emotional state. Research has shown that dogs can read human facial expressions, body language, and even pick up on subtle changes in scent associated with different emotional states. When you're upset, your dog can sense changes in your body chemistry, such as an increase in cortisol levels, the stress hormone. They also notice the nuances in your behavior and posture that accompany sadness or distress. This heightened sensitivity to human emotions is a result of thousands of years of domestication, where dogs have evolved to be deeply connected with humans. When your dog comes to comfort you without being asked, it's a clear sign they're in tune with your feelings. They might try to cheer you up by cuddling up to you, bringing you their favorite toy, or engaging in playful behavior. Always checking in with you. When your dog frequently looks at you, especially in unfamiliar surroundings, follows you around, or comes back to you to make sure you're still there, they're showing that you are their point of safety and comfort in the world. First off, This constant checking in is rooted in the dog's instinct for companionship and security. In the wild, canines are highly social animals, often relying on the pack for cues about their environment and safety. By checking in with you, your dog is essentially saying, "You are my pack, and I rely on you to know I'm safe." It's worth noting the role of separation anxiety in this behavior. While checking in is a sign of a strong bond, it can also indicate that your dog feels anxious when you're not in sight. It's important to differentiate between a healthy attachment and anxiety-driven behavior. Providing a secure environment and practicing short, positive separations can help reassure your dog that it's okay to be apart for a while. This behavior also ties into the concept known as operant conditioning in dog training. If checking in with you regularly results in positive reinforcement, such as treats, pets, or verbal praise, your dog will be more likely to continue this behavior. It's a way for them to ensure they're on the right track and to seek your approval. Specific stare. In the dog world, locking eyes is often considered a threat or a challenge to authority. So when your dog gazes into your eyes, it's a powerful sign they're going against their natural instincts to show you trust and affection. This behavior is one of the most profound indicators of imprinting. Scientific studies, including one highlighted in the journal Science, have shown that such prolonged eye contact between dogs and their owners boosts oxytocin levels for both parties. This hormonal exchange, similar to the bond between parents and their children, strengthens the emotional connection, fostering feelings of love and trust. This unique form of communication is reserved for those dogs that feel exceptionally safe and secure with their owners, as not all dogs are comfortable with prolonged eye contact. Can dogs change their favorite person? Firstly, a dog's bond with a person can strengthen or shift due to changes in the amount of time spent together. For instance, if someone who previously spent a lot of time away from home starts working from home, they suddenly become more present in the dog's daily life. This increased presence and availability for walks, playtime, and affection can naturally lead to a stronger bond. It's not just about quantity, though. The quality of the interactions plays a crucial role in deepening this connection. Life changes significantly impact a dog's preferences. Events like moving to a new home, the arrival or departure of family members, or even changes in the dog's routine can affect who they're most attached to. Dogs are highly adaptable creatures, but they rely on consistency and familiarity for comfort. Moreover, dogs are highly social animals and can form strong attachments to multiple people. However, they often show a preference for the person who matches their energy level and provides them with the most interaction, including training, play, and general care. This preference isn't fixed and can evolve based on who fulfills these roles best at any given time. If your dog has imprinted on you, their chosen human, they will do anything to be near to you. In this video, we will look at 11 signs that you and your dog have this. Before we dive in, why not join our canine-loving community for instant updates whenever we post new content? Number 1. How does your dog react to unfamiliar situations? Some dogs are nervous and will take a lot of coaxing before they're willing to approach anything unfamiliar. Others are overconfident and have to be actively held back so they don't run into danger. But for an imprinted dog, there is only one reaction to any situation about which they are unsure. Look to the human. If your dog has imprinted on you, then they will trust your judgment implicitly. If you act like you think things are going to be all right, then your dog will believe that things will be all right. If you seem nervous, then your dog will be nervous. Number 2. How do they respond when you hug them? Most dogs do not like being hugged. No matter how strong the temptation may be to just pick your puppy up and squeeze them, you must resist. Dogs respond in various ways to being hugged. Some will pull away immediately. Others will tolerate for a few moments before making their displeasure known. An imprinted dog will allow themselves to be hugged for as long as the human wants them to. They might be uncomfortable, but they'll ignore their discomfort if they think it'll make you happy. Number 3. How do they react when they hear your name? Sometimes you have to leave your dog alone, heartbreaking as that may be. But if you have anyone like a dog sitter or a dog walker who looks after your pooch while you're out of the house, then ask them how your dog reacts when they mention your name. Most dogs tend to learn their own names fairly easily, but an imprinted dog will likely also learn the name of their chosen human and will be able to pick it out when they hear it out of context. If the dog sitter mentions your name, then your dog will likely get excited. They may even start looking around, as if hoping that your name being mentioned means that you're about to appear, making their day. Number 4. How do they act on walks? Some dogs drag behind on walks, stopping to smell the roses and the occasional poop. Others run on ahead, eager to stretch their legs. An imprinted dog will go on ahead, but not for the exercise. If your dog has imprinted on you, then they value you highly and want to protect you. They go on ahead on walks so that they can sniff out for any danger that might threaten the two of you. Number 5. How do they react when you leave the house? Imprinting isn't always a good thing. Imprinted dogs are much more likely to suffer from separation anxiety and may be unable to be left alone for long periods at all. If your dog is imprinted on you, then they will likely make a fuss when you try to leave the house without them. They might try to follow you out the door, or whine, or scratch at the door after you leave. You might get complaints from the neighbors about them barking during the day, or come home to find that they took out their frustration and anxiety on your couch cushions. Number 6. Do they comfort you when you're upset? Most dogs who have lived around humans from puppyhood will be able to understand at least a little bit of human body language. Enough to tell when we're angry, sad, happy, or afraid. But with an imprinted dog, it will be something else. Such dogs are intensely focused on their chosen human's mood, to a sometimes obsessive degree, and they will respond immediately to any signs of distress and feel driven to comfort you. If the moment you start to feel down, you find a furry head resting in your lap, then you may have an imprinted dog. As mentioned previously, your mood will likely affect their mood, so it's important to try and be mindful of how your emotions affect your beloved pooch. Number 7. How protective are they? Imprinted dogs can be very overprotective. This can be a good thing. One of the benefits of dog ownership is getting to feel safer walking alone at night or living in a less than stellar area. Dogs are often protective of their humans, and would-be attackers will be familiar enough with this that most of them will avoid any potential mark with a dog in tow. But this can also be a negative. An imprinted dog might start getting aggressive whenever any unfamiliar human approaches you. They might also try to step in and defend you in situations where you don't really need it, like if a friend play punches you while you're goofing around. Number 8. How do they react in crowds? A lot of dogs get nervous in crowded environments, particularly when they're unfamiliar with most of the people in the crowd. Some dogs will refuse to enter a crowded space altogether or will need to be carried, while others will, after a brief moment of uncertainty, view it as an opportunity to make lots of new friends and may have to be held back so that they don't bother strangers. Now, an imprinted dog will stick to you like glue in a crowded situation. How they respond to the new people will be entirely dependent on how you respond. If you act friendly with the new people, then they will act friendly with them. If you seem anxious, they will be anxious too. Number 9. How do they sleep? Having your own hairy hot water bottle when you go to bed at night is one of the major perks of dog ownership. A lot of dogs like to sleep near their owners, both for the companionship and because they feel safer with their humans around. But an imprinted dog will pretty much only sleep when their human is around, to the extent that they might seek you out from elsewhere in the house just to have a nap with you nearby. If you have to go away and leave them overnight for any reason, then you might hear from your dog sitter that your pup has trouble sleeping while you're gone. Number 10. Do they seem like a mind reader? Sometimes it feels like your dog can read your mind. The moment you want them to do something, they do it. You feel tired and decide it's time for bed? Your dog is already heading to the bedroom. It's a nice day and you want to go out for a walk? Your dog has the leash in their mouth and is standing by the door ready to go. You've got a bad cold but have to go to the store even though you really don't want to. Your dog is stepping in front of you and whining like they're trying to make you stay put. Of course, your dog isn't actually a mind reader. Once again, they're just very tuned in to your body language. An imprinted dog will study your behavior extremely carefully and may get to the stage where they know how you're feeling before you do. Number 11. Are they a Velcro dog? Dogs habitually follow their humans around the house. Not to mention, it's not like they can watch a movie or play video games while you're at work. They might have a lot of toys, but you're a much better source of entertainment. Some dogs, however, can take these attachments too far. These are Velcro dogs, the dogs that can't be apart from their humans without experiencing intense anxiety, and who follow them around the house like a second shadow. You'll know you have a Velcro dog if you can't remember the last time you went anywhere on your own without a fight. Many Velcro dogs will even protest, and maybe start scratching at the door if their human tries to go to the bathroom on their own. Not all imprinted dogs are Velcro dogs, but imprinting puts a dog at a much higher risk of developing this particular syndrome, and most Velcro dogs will have imprinted on their chosen humans. While all dogs love their humans in their own way, an imprinted dog takes that love to the next level. But what does this rare bond look like? Could your dog have imprinted on you without you even realizing it? In this video, we'll uncover the 9 signs that your dog sees you as their ultimate soulmate, including some dog owner habits they tolerate only if their bond with you is strong enough. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and join a community of dog lovers who are just as obsessed with their pups as you are. Number 1. Allowing snoot boops. A dog's nose isn't just for sniffing. It's also perfect for booping. Long or short, the snoot is something every dog owner finds irresistible. At some point, we all give in and just have to gently tap a finger on that inquisitive nose. It's a way to show your affection and establish a deeper bond between you. So why does your dog pull away? Don't they enjoy it? Many dogs don't like having their nose touched at all. Considering how sensitive their noses are, this is understandable. Maybe your nails are too long, or your new hand lotion smells too strongly. Whatever the reason, some dogs just don't like it. Which is why it's always an honor when your dog lets you boop their snoot. While most dogs will tolerate the action, imprinted dogs are even more likely to allow this show of affection. You might find they enjoy it so much, they return the favor and boop you wherever they can reach. Number 2. It's all in the hugs. No matter how much you want to hug your dog, it's not always a good idea. Most animals hate feeling trapped, and for your dog, being wrapped in your arms is uncomfortable and scary. Your dog might allow you to hug them, especially if they're familiar with the action, but they'll likely squirm away a few seconds later, leaving you feeling bereft. Imprinted dogs are a lot more tolerant of your strange habits than other canines. Your adoring pooch just wants to make you happy. If that means sitting still while you get your hugging fix, that's what they'll do. They might not be comfortable doing it, so remember to show your appreciation by not clinging too long. But your imprinted dog will be content knowing they've made you happy. Being close to you is an extra special bonus. Number 3. Making eye contact. One of the most powerful forms of body language is eye contact, and it's something humans rely on a lot. Most dogs, however, see holding eye contact as a challenge or a threat. It's something that tells them they're in danger, especially in situations where they don't know the person or the other dog. If they imprint on you, your dog will be more likely to happily make and hold eye contact with you. This isn't because they're issuing a challenge to your leadership, though. It's because they have such a powerful bond of trust and safety with you that there's nowhere else they'd rather be. While all dogs learn their humans are always there for them, imprinted dogs take it a step further. They will look to you for directions in situations they're unsure about, or happily stare at you all day just to make sure you're nearby. Number 4. Stealing your dirty laundry. Laundry is one of those chores we all wish we could skip but know needs to be done. Imprinted dogs would prefer you skip washing your clothes altogether. While we cringe at our smelly socks and can't wear a shirt too long before it gets grimy, dogs love the smelliness. Why wouldn't they, when the clothes you wear most always smell like you? Dogs rely on their noses all the time. Smell is how they learn about the world around them and settle their nerves if they get scared. Your scent is one of their favorites, especially if they've imprinted on you. If you keep finding your dirty socks or your favorite jumper on your dog's bed, the chances are they've stolen it to bask in your scent. It helps them feel close to you even when you're away. Number 5. Following in your footsteps. Some dogs will follow you everywhere, even if you're only walking to the other side of the room. Many are content to let you do something alone. They'll just keep one beady eye on you from their cozy spot on the sofa. Imprinted dogs have such a strong bond with their owners that they never want to leave your side. You thought you'd be able to go to the bathroom in peace? The scratching and whining at the closed door says otherwise. This behavior is adorable and gives you all-day access to canine cuddles and boops, but it has its downsides too. Your imprinted dog can be so reliant on your presence that they become anxious or fearful when you're gone. Number 6. Seeking your companionship. Maybe you have a less cuddly canine who's imprinted on you. They might not want to cuddle up close like Velcro dogs, but they'll certainly want to stay nearby. This includes seeking you out if you're in another room of the house. You leave them napping peacefully in the sitting room for a few minutes, only to turn around and find them curled up in the bathroom doorway, watching as you brush your teeth. Or they might bring you their favorite toys throughout the day, regardless of what chores you're supposed to be getting on with. If any of your family members wonder why your dog never asks to play with them, yet said dog is always bringing you their tug toy, it's a good sign that you're the one they've imprinted on. Number 7. Listening to your commands. Training isn't easy, especially when dogs have a mind of their own. A lot of dogs prefer to do their own thing because it's more interesting than what you're asking of them. What do you mean they can't jump up at new people? How are they supposed to properly show their excitement? Imprinted dogs are much more likely to listen to you. Not because other canines have selective hearing, or at least they pretend to, but because your devoted puppy gets a rush from pleasing you. Their nose might be telling them something exciting is under that leaf pile, but your smile when they come bounding up to you at the sound of their name is well worth the sacrifice. Number 8. Sleeping with you. It might be confusing when your dog turns down their comfortable brand new bed in favor of your worn-out mattress, but it shows how strong your bond is. As pack animals, dogs are naturally more comfortable sleeping with other dogs and people they feel closest to. Can you blame them? After all, there's a sense of security and coziness when you take a nap with someone you love. Dogs who imprint on you will frequently choose to sleep with you over staying on their bed alone. Not because they don't like their bed. They're pretty sure it's lovely. But it doesn't smell like you. It definitely doesn't give them ear scratches or keep them safe like you can. Even if you're just sitting on the couch trying to get some work done, you'll likely find your dog curled up between your feet or trying to push your laptop off your lap with their nose. Number 9. Monkey see, monkey do. The highest form of flattery is imitation. Toddlers are well known for copying the mannerisms of their parents. But did you know dogs do it too? Imprinted dogs focus so much on you and your habits that they eventually start showing the behavior themselves. They might start yawning whenever you do, or they'll stretch when they get up just because you did it first. Some dogs have even been known to copy their owners when they're injured. They'll adopt a phantom limp as a way to show solidarity. While it might be worrying for us, our imprinted pooch is just trying to support you and demonstrate how strong their adoration for you is. Have you seen their belly? Ever noticed your dog rolling over and showing off their belly? It's not just for belly rubs. This behavior is a big, furry sign that your dog sees you as their parent. When dogs expose their bellies, they're showing immense trust in you. Your dog's belly is their most vulnerable spot, and revealing it means they feel completely safe. Dogs often show their bellies because they're seeking comfort and affection. They love tummy rubs, which release feel-good hormones like oxytocin, strengthening your emotional connection. It's a win-win. It lowers their stress levels and boosts their happiness while also calming you. Plus, did you know dogs have a sweet spot on their bellies? Hitting it just right can trigger their leg to kick involuntarily. Watch where they want to sleep. This endearing habit is a clear sign that your dog sees you as family. Dogs instinctively seek out a cozy, secure spot to rest, and if that spot is next to you, it means you're their safe haven. This behavior strengthens your bond, much like a child feels comforted sleeping near their parents. Did you know that sleeping together can actually help synchronize sleep patterns between pets and owners? Research has shown that people who sleep with their dogs often experience better sleep quality due to the sense of security and companionship. Plus, it's hard to feel lonely when you have a furry friend snoring gently by your side. Some dogs even prefer to sleep under the covers with you. This behavior, often seen in breeds like Dachshunds and Terriers, is a throwback to their burrowing instincts. So if your dog dives under the blankets, they're not just looking for warmth, they're looking for comfort and closeness. Roughhousing. Roughhousing might not be your go-to way of showing affection, but for dogs, it's a natural and healthy expression of love. Dogs use play to bond, similar to how children interact with their parents. Rough play with your dog strengthens your connection and shows they feel secure with you. This behavior indicates they view you as a guide and mentor, someone they can have fun with and learn from. Interestingly, roughhousing can also improve your dog's mental health. It helps them burn off energy, reduce stress, and develop important social skills. Plus, it's a great workout for both of you. Dogs often do a sort of a play bow before starting to roughhouse. This exaggerated bow, with their front legs stretched out and rear end up, is an invitation to play and a signal that anything that follows is all in good fun. Biting. Puppies bite their mothers and littermates to explore and learn about their world. So when your dog engages in gentle nipping during roughhousing, they're treating you like a trusted companion they can safely play with. Playful biting is different from aggressive biting. It's controlled, gentle, and full of affection. Your dog understands you're not a threat and feels comfortable expressing their playful instincts with you. Dogs have a bite inhibition instinct, which they learn as puppies. This helps them control the force of their bites, ensuring play remains safe and enjoyable. Getting jealous. Just like kids who seek their parents' undivided attention, your dog's jealousy shows they see you as a major figure in their life. They want to remain the center of your affection and care. It's their way of saying, "Hey, remember me? You're #1 fan." Dogs often become protective of their family members. They want to safeguard their bond with you from any potential rivals. Did you know that studies have shown dogs can understand and react to human emotions, including jealousy? They can recognize when your attention is divided and will often try to get it back in endearing ways, like nudging your hand or inserting themselves between you and the intruder. Stealing. If your dog raids your dirty laundry for your smelliest clothes, shoes, and socks, it's actually a sign of affection. They miss you when you're away and crave your unique scent. The stinkier, the better. While it's wise to discourage this behavior to save your shoes and socks, remember that it stems from love. When dogs miss their parents, they seek items with your scent to feel closer to you. They associate your scent with safety and affection, just as a child feels secure with a beloved blanket or toy that smells like home. Does your dog know your name? Did you know that dogs can have a vocabulary of about 165 words, including signals and gestures? Some super smart pups can even learn up to 1,000 words. Dogs can learn their own names and those of their furry friends, but they can also recognize the names of their favorite humans. When dogs hear the names of people they care about, they get excited, eagerly hoping that person might appear. Kisses. Dogs lick faces for various reasons, primarily to show affection and bond with their human parents. Dogs have fewer taste buds than humans, around 1,700 compared to our 9,000. Despite this, they seem to enjoy the taste of their human companions. Licking releases endorphins in dogs, making them feel happy and relaxed. Interestingly, dogs also lick to communicate and explore their world. They gather information about your mood, health, and even what you had for lunch. Their highly sensitive noses and tongues help them learn about their environment, and your face is a fascinating canvas of scents and tastes. Humorous moments often arise from this behavior. Ever had your dog enthusiastically lick your face right after you've applied your favorite face cream? It's like they're giving your skincare routine their seal of approval. Or perhaps they've interrupted a serious moment with an unexpected slobbery kiss, instantly lightening the mood. Mirroring. If you stretch, they might stretch too. If you lie down, they'll plop right beside you. Take it as a big compliment. This behavior shows they want to be close to you and understand your actions. Dogs often mirror their owners to learn and bond, much like children mimic their parents. It's a way of showing they see you as a central figure in their life. And did you know that dogs can even mimic human yawning? Studies have shown that dogs are more likely to yawn after seeing their owners yawn, a sign of empathy and a strong emotional connection. Where do they look? Dogs are one of the few species that seek out eye contact with humans. Just as human bonding activities like cuddling boost oxytocin, gazing into your dog's eyes does the same for both of you. Scientists have discovered that this mutual gaze increases oxytocin levels in both humans and dogs, enhancing your bond. Humans experience about a 170% boost in oxytocin, making this eye contact a powerful way to strengthen your connection. When dogs look into your eyes, they're feeling secure and affectionate, much like a child feels when looking at their parent. This gaze also serves as a tool for building emotional bonds. And the prolonged gaze from your dog is a clear sign of their deep admiration and affection. Although we can't personally judge your dog parenting skills, in this video, we're going to look at some of the signs you can look for to discover whether you're a good dog owner or not. But before we dive in, why not subscribe to our channel and join our canine loving community for tips and tricks to help you become the best dog parent you can be. Sign number 12. Your dog wants to spend time with you. Does your dog wake you up every morning by nudging you with their nose or licking your face? Do they come running to the door, tail wagging furiously when you come home from work? Do they follow you around the house while you do your chores and insist on joining you in every room? You might think dogs are naturally social animals who simply like any type of human companionship. But then, how do you tell that your pup wants to be with you specifically? And that in their mind, not just any treat-dispensing human will do? Look out for behavior that's called mirroring. You may have noticed that your dog loves to sit on the couch with you when you watch TV, or as you settle in your chair to work, they inevitably plop up on the floor near you. Many dog owners who practice at-home workouts find their pooches like to join them as soon as they roll out a yoga mat, making for a very adorable, fluffy distraction. Basically, you'll see your dog trying to mimic the behavior of others in their social group, in this case you, to help build social ties. It means that they view you as a friend or family member, a sure sign that you're doing something right. Number 11. Your dog feels safe around you. We humans have constructed our habitats to be very secure. When we drop onto the couch with a relaxed sigh in our fluffy slippers, how often do we worry about predators, like lions or bears, attacking us through the window? It can be hard for humans to imagine how anxious domesticated animals like dogs can be. Even though your pup shouldn't have to worry about being attacked in your home, they are always naturally alert to potential threats. Your dog doesn't know for sure that they aren't going to encounter a stray wolf wandering around the house, so as a result, they are, in their eyes, appropriately vigilant. If your dog puts aside that vigilance and is able to relax in your presence, it's a sign of deep trust. Not only do they know that you would never hurt them, but they also trust you to protect them from other threats. To tell if your dog feels safe around you, you need to look at how they behave in your presence. Specifically, observe how often they put themselves in situations where they would be at a disadvantage if suddenly threatened. One of the most obvious ways your dog may show this trust is by relaxing and falling asleep near you, especially if they do so sprawled out in a way that leaves them exposed, rather than curling up tightly or hiding. Another, more subtle way that many dogs show their trust is by exposing their belly to you. A dog's belly is one of the most vulnerable parts of their body, home to their delicate, vital organs. So, dogs tend to be very particular about who they show it to, as exposing their underside to the wrong person or animal could lead to attack and potentially serious injury. This is why trying to touch your pup's tummy out of the blue is a major canine faux pas. Keeping your hands to yourself or focusing only on their head and back, on the other hand, demonstrates to your dog that they were right to put their trust in you because you are a good parent. Number 10. Your dog is happy. The best measure of how good a dog owner you are is, of course, how happy your pup is. As a dog owner, it's your responsibility to make sure that your fur baby is as happy and confident as possible. The most famous sign of doggy contentment is their tail, which you've probably learned to read well already. When you're not sure how your pup is feeling, you can always look behind them. The higher and more wagging the tail, the happier the dog. If you want to know whether your dog is content, look for a tail that hangs down behind in a relaxed position, only slightly lower than their spine. This is the baseline for a happy dog. Your dog may also wag their tail enthusiastically when you walk into the room, which is roughly the equivalent of a human grinning from ear to ear. The higher the happier rule works just as well for your dog's ears. In this case, the baseline position is upright, but relaxed and a medium distance apart. Higher ears than that mean that your dog is especially focused and engaged in whatever has caught their attention. They might be playing, exploring, or responding to something interesting in their environment. Number 9. Your dog is healthy. Keeping your pup happy is important, but it's not the only thing. In order to be a good dog parent, you also have to look after their health. It's recommended that adult dogs visit the vet to receive a medical checkup and booster vaccines, either annually or every 3 years, depending on which brand of vaccine your local vet uses. You should also take steps to help your dog stay active. Yeah, daily walks are part of the dog package, giving you both a great opportunity to stretch your legs. You might give in to a sudden desire to enjoy the birds chirping and smell the roses as your pup is busily sniffing less savory scents at your feet. As blissful as this sounds, according to Psychology Today, an average dog walk lasts around 20 to 34 minutes, which might be plenty of time to take care of the necessities. But on the other hand, that might mean your pooch spends the other 23 hours of their day cooped up inside, snoozing on their, or your, bed, meaning they can become overweight and develop health problems if they aren't encouraged to exercise. Unfortunately, your pup doesn't have the skills to send you a calendar invite for a walkie, so it's on you to mentally book enough outside time in your pup's schedule for which their wagging tail will thank you. If you can't regularly take your doggy out for 40 to 60-minute outings, one of the best things to do is to initiate regular play sessions. Try dangling a squeaky toy in front of your pooch to get a tug-of-war game going. For extra entertainment value, for humans, you can play music in the background so that your pup looks like they're dancing as they're wiggling their head to pull the toy out of your hand. Number 8. Your dog shows you a lot of affection. The judge of your dog parenting, whose opinion matters the most, is of course your pooch. After all, if your dog thinks you're a good owner, then you probably are, right? But your dog's methods of leaving positive reviews for your service can vary. One of the more subtle signs of canine affection is maintaining eye contact and having a relaxed, happy expression. This is sometimes called a doggy smile or an I trust you look. You may also find your dog leaning against you or sitting close by, pressing their body into yours. Hugging, on the other hand, can be a bit more complex for dogs. In the canine world, close physical contact can sometimes be associated with dominance or restraint. However, dogs will often come to understand that a hug from a person they trust is a sign of affection, not a threat. While your pup is unlikely to put their paws around you in an embrace, if they accept bare squeezing hugs from you, it shows an extraordinary level of trust. They are allowing themselves to be vulnerable because they know that you, of all creatures in their life, do not mean them harm. That level of love is granted to only the most caring dog owners. Number 7. Your dog sticks out their neck for you. Our pooches are always content to be our loyal shadows, simply lying by our side. But at some point, during a peaceful movie night on the couch, they will almost inevitably rest their head on your lap. And sooner than you know it, you're setting your popcorn bowl aside to give your pup a hearty ear rub. They might even tilt their neck up, inviting you to give them a good scratch, in case you didn't get their hint the first time. While it seems like the most natural thing in the world, it actually isn't. For dogs, their neck is a super important and vulnerable area because it has vital blood vessels. Just like how exposing their belly is risky because it protects their organs, showing their neck is something they are geared to instinctively avoid at all cost. On some level, your dog is always guarding their neck, just in case. So, when your pup offers their neck for scratches, or makes that adorable move of bumping their head into your chest, they're showing an exceptional level of emotional surrender. It's just like they know, on their most basic animal level, that you'll never take advantage of their vulnerability. When they do it to you, it's their way of telling you that they see you as a true dog parent. Number 6. Your dog shares their stories. You've returned home from a long day's work and greeted your best pal like you've been away for ages. Now you're going about your business around the home when you hear it. Woof, woof, woof. The water dish is full. It's not dinner time. They don't look hurt or distressed, and they don't seem to be trying to lead you anywhere. What's going on? If your pup is regularly vocal around you, especially if they're a talkative breed such as a husky, terrier, or shepherd, then they're probably just trying to have a chat. Think of it as your dog's version of small talk. They might be telling you about the interesting squirrel they saw outside or how comfortable the couch was all afternoon. Dogs have been known to imitate the sounds they hear from their owners. So, if you're the type to chat with your dog, don't be surprised if they start trying to talk back in their own way. It's their way of being part of the conversation and showing that they enjoy your company. Number 5. Your dog chooses you over their bed. You're trying to snuggle down to sleep, but your pup is making it surprisingly difficult. Maybe they're sitting like a rock in the middle of the bed, making it impossible to stretch your legs out, or maybe they're on your pillow, making everything smell like dog breath. They might even perch on your legs, like they're trying to anchor you down for the entire night. Well, before you push them aside, stop to consider that a dog sleeping near or on top of a human is actually a huge sign of trust. Your dog sleeping near you shows that they find your presence relaxing and restful in a way that soothes their basic fight or flight instincts. And it can be soothing for you too. As you're dozing off and your dog snuggles up beside you, you can feel the gentle rise and fall of their breathing, and somehow it feels like the most calming thing in the world. This closeness is more than just a cozy moment. It's a reflection of a deeper physical connection than you might think. Studies have shown that dogs' heart rates can synchronize with their owners when they sleep together. So, while it might be a bit inconvenient to have a furry heater glued to your side, it's also a special time when your hearts are in perfect sync with each other. Number 4. Your dog is extra cuddly in the morning. Human sleep patterns are strange to dogs. Although your pup probably sleeps much more than you do, potentially up to 14 hours a day, they don't tend to do it in one long chunk. Canine sleep patterns are what's known as polyphasic, meaning that they have lots of little sleeps throughout the day. One reason for this is that, in the wild, dogs are constantly on the lookout for danger. While your own furry friend hopefully shouldn't have to contend with any predator more vicious than a vacuum cleaner, these instincts still remain. As a result, from your dog's perspective, the human habit of sleeping for 8 hours in a row every night is insanely risky. Humans tend to be either monophasic or biphasic, with some of us sleeping the whole night through, and some of us having a brief period of wakefulness in the middle of the night. This is because we have relatively few predators and evolved to sleep in shelters or protected places. Your dog, however, is unlikely to have much knowledge of anthropology. They don't understand that giant eagles aren't going to swoop down and carry you off in the night. So when your pup gives you that extra affection in the mornings, they are grateful that your insane sleep gamble paid off, so your pup and their favorite companion are facing yet another day together. Number 3. Your dog brings you important things. You wake up in the morning, sit up in bed, put your feet down on the floor, and right on a slobbery toy. And while some dogs have a habit of offering up their possessions as an invitation to play, some dog owners are honestly puzzled why their pooches keep bringing their weird stuff and where they get it in the first place. In 2019, a dog parent from the US reported that her Labrador retriever, Xena, has been bringing her all sorts of strange gifts for years. The mischievous furball's stolen swag included items such as a bottle of essential oil, a sellotape, and a milk jug. But hey, it's the thought that counts. Dog parents whose pooches wander farther afield will sometimes get given slightly wilder gifts. In 2014, a dog parent from the US reported that her dog brought her a fawn and another one, a tiny rabbit. Your dog's gifts are a sign that they consider you an important part of their social group, even if you wish they'd pay better attention to your Amazon wish list. If your dog doesn't bring you gifts, don't worry, they still love you just as much. Not every pup is into gifting. Some prefer to show their affection by stealing your socks or sitting on your lap like a 50-pound blanket. Number 2. The doggy kiss. Oh, the ultimate gesture of canine affection. The stinky, slobbery licking of your face, hands, or even feet. You might already know that puppies lick their mother's mouth to encourage her to regurgitate food for them. While it's a good thing your dog isn't expecting a pre-chewed snack, this behavior can stick around into their adulthood too. Might not be the most pleasant sign that your pup considers you their mom, but hey, we dog owners, desperate for furry love, take our comfort where we can find it. Sometimes, doggy kisses come at the most unexpected times. For instance, during a thunderstorm or fireworks display, your dog might start licking you as if they've discovered a hidden stash of peanut butter on your skin. Loud noises like thunder and fireworks can be really scary for dogs. They don't understand what's happening and may start licking you in a very doggish method to calm down. Licking releases endorphins, which are natural, feel-good chemicals in their brain, helping them feel more relaxed. Plus, your dog knows that being close to you makes everything better. They trust you to keep them safe, and your presence helps them feel secure. So, those extra kisses are a wet, slobbery reminder that you're doing everything right as a dog owner. Number 1. Your dog lets you groom them. Grooming, for dogs, is an important social activity. If you have a short-haired dog who doesn't require regular brushing to keep their coat in shape, then you might be under the impression that you don't participate in this activity with your pup at all. But in reality, you almost certainly do. Dogs don't have hands and don't typically run their paws over each other's bodies. Instead, from your dog's perspective, your peculiar human habit of running your hands over their fur is just your way of licking them clean. They might find it weird, but in fairness, the average human's head is all the way up in the sky from a dog's perspective, while our hands are right there. Our hands are what we use to carry things, just like dogs use their mouths to carry things. Plus, human fingernails give the best back scratches, so it's worth it for your pup to put up with the weirdness. But grooming somebody else in a dog's world isn't just about keeping them clean. Dogs will sometimes groom other dogs as a sign of social bonding and affection, especially if they groom the top of the head, which you may notice is probably the place you tend to reach for when petting your dog. From your pup's perspective, letting you do this without objecting is a sign that they consider you to be the top dog in this relationship and the head of your little family. You're sitting on the couch, minding your own business, when suddenly, woof, there's your dog, staring at you with an expectant expression. What's going on? Are they trying to warn you about something? Are they upset? Relax. You're not being scolded, and there's no evil-minded mailman lurking around the corner. In the wild, dogs would vocalize with their packmates to share information or strengthen bonds. Now, you're their pack, and those sounds are part of your special language. Every noise carries meaning. The grumble? A little teasing banter or complaint about something huge, like you taking too long to grab the leash. Even that long, dramatic sigh could be their version of, "Seriously, why aren't we doing something fun right now?" If your dog is talking to you regularly, it's because you've created an environment where they feel understood. You're trying to snuggle down to sleep, but your pup is making it surprisingly difficult. Maybe they're sitting like a rock in the middle of the bed, making it impossible to stretch your legs out, or maybe they're on your pillow making everything smell like dog breath. They might even perch on your legs, like they're trying to anchor you down for the entire night. Well, before you push them aside, stop to consider that a dog sleeping near or on top of a human is actually a huge sign of trust. Your dog sleeping near you shows that they find your presence relaxing and restful in a way that soothes their basic fight or flight instincts. And it can be soothing for you too. As you're dozing off and your dog snuggles up beside you, you can feel the gentle rise and fall of their breathing, and somehow it feels like the most calming thing in the world. Studies have shown that dogs' heart rates can synchronize with their owners when they sleep together. So, while it might be a bit inconvenient to have a furry heater glued to your side, it's also a special time when your hearts are in perfect sync with each other. You head to the kitchen for a glass of water. There they are. Step into the bathroom for a moment of privacy. Nope, not happening. You can't even turn around without accidentally tripping over your four-legged shadow. While this might seem like clinginess, it's actually one of the clearest signs you're a phenomenal dog owner. Back when their ancestors roamed in packs, sticking together meant survival. Fast forward to today, your dog has chosen you as their personal guide, protector, and all-around favorite human. Dogs don't shadow people they distrust. If they're glued to your side, it's because they believe you're their safe haven, someone who will protect and care for them no matter what. And let's not forget the more practical side of things. You've created a routine that your dog thrives on. Whether it's mealtime, playtime, or just sitting together on the couch, your dog knows that good things happen when they're around you. Imprinting is the strongest bond a dog and their human can have. It means that your pup recognizes you as their caregiver, a source of security and attachments. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen in every dog and owner relationship. Sure, your dog might listen to you and enjoy your company, but that doesn't mean they have imprinted on you. So how can you know for sure? In this video, we're going to talk about 9 proven signs that your dog hasn't imprinted on you. We're also going to give you 5 steps you should be implementing as soon as possible if you notice any of these signs. Sign number 1. When you walk into a room, your dog should get excited, or at least respond in some way. To an imprinted dog, their human is like a celebrity. Even if they've seen you 10 times today, watching you walk into the room should at least be worth raising their head and greeting. But worse than being ignored is being actively avoided. If your dog leaves the room whenever you enter, then that's a sign that there's something deeply amiss between the two of you. Sign number 2. You might have heard about that soppy look that dogs are supposed to have when looking at their owners. This is because dogs use eye contact to communicate strong emotions, including love and affection. If your pup is avoiding eye contact with you, then that can be a sign that they don't consider you to be a part of their family. It's important in these cases to not try and solve the problem by forcing eye contact. If you do that, then you risk upsetting your dog and potentially causing even more damage to your relationship with them. Sign number 3. Who doesn't enjoy a good game of fetch or a quick tug-of-war match? Hopefully your dog does, because refusal to play is another sign that your dog isn't as into this whole pet thing as you are. Playfulness levels obviously vary between dogs, and it's natural for certain breeds to be less playful than others, and for older dogs to be less playful than younger dogs. But if your fur baby refuses to even acknowledge you when you try to throw them a stick, then that suggests that there's a deeper problem. Sign number 4. How does your dog react when you try to pet them? Do they wag their tail and lean into your touch, or do they duck or flinch away? Or do they tolerate your touch, but then spend the whole petting session showing clear signs of doggy disapproval, like repeated yawning or licking their lips. Petting is the human equivalent of grooming, which is when dogs lick each other's fur to clean it and to reinforce social bonds. If your dog resists being petted, then that's a sign that they don't consider you somebody that they want to share a social bond with. Sign number 5. Does it feel like your dog's favorite person is literally anyone except for you? Are they all over the dog sitter when they come to visit, showing them affection in a way that they never do for you? Do they seem friendly or even with random people on the street? Lots of dogs are sociable, but a dog's human should be their safe place. The person they look to when they're scared or distressed, and the person that they prefer above all other people. If this is not the case for your dog, then that indicates that they might not see you as their pet parent at all. Sign number 6. One of the best things about having a dog is always having somebody who is excited to see you when you come home at the end of the day. If your fur baby doesn't seem to care whether you come home or not, however, then that's a worrying sign, especially if your dog is an only pet. Dogs are social animals who naturally prefer to be in the company of others. If your dog isn't excited at all when you walk in the door, especially if you've been away for a few hours or more, then that suggests that they may consider your company to be less interesting than no company at all. Sign number 7. What about when there is a food reward involved? Not wanting treats is a major sign of a breakdown in the bond between dog and owner. As any experienced dog owner knows, most dogs go crazy for treats. While some tend to be more food motivated than others when it comes to being trained, it's not usual for one to turn treats down entirely. However, if your dog starts doing this, then it might not necessarily be a sign that you're experiencing relationship problems. Sometimes an unfood motivated dog might just get bored with the usual treats. Try switching things up, or even introducing some more high-value treats before you panic. If changing the treats doesn't produce results, however, then it might be time to face facts. Your pooch doesn't trust you enough to accept the food you give them, and that's an issue. Sign number 8. The worst sign of a breach in the bond between dog and owner is aggression. Aggressive behaviors can range from raised hackles and loud barking to growling to even snapping or biting. If your dog shows signs of aggression, then the most important thing to do is to protect yourself and your pup. Even a small dog can cause damage if they feel pushed to attack, and in some places, even one bite on a dog's record can be enough for them to be legally destroyed. To avoid provoking an attack, make sure you don't do anything to suggest that you are challenging them to a fight, but conversely, don't get spooked and try to run, as this may activate your dog's prey instinct. Back away slowly and leave the room. If your dog doesn't calm down after a few hours, then this may be a sign that it's time to contact a professional trainer. How do I fix this? Notice any of the signs above? Here are 5 steps you should be implementing as soon as possible. Step 1. Be patient. Dogs don't always understand human body language that well, and things that we consider affectionate, like hugging or chasing after them when they try to run away, can easily be misconstrued as aggressive. And in fairness, you can kind of see their point. When trying to build a bond of trust with your dog, you need to take your time and let them take the lead. Step 2. Dogs like routines. Knowing what's going to happen next helps them feel safe, and like the world around them makes sense. Given that the human world around them is often confusing, this is very important for their mental well-being. Establishing a set daily routine for your dog can help them learn to trust you more. Step 3. You should never shout at your dog because loud noises can upset or frighten them. For a dog who is already having difficulties trusting you, this applies even if you're not yelling out of anger. Shouting to be heard over the noise of the dog park might seem perfectly innocent, but you don't know how it will be interpreted by your dog. Keep your voice quiet, calm, and low-pitched when at all possible. Step 4. Dogs are very scent-oriented creatures, relying on their sense of smell to help them learn about the world around them. Letting your dog sniff you before petting them may make them feel more confident about being touched. Step 5. Who's a good dog? No dog should ever be left in doubt about the answer to this question. For any pups who happen to be watching alongside their humans, the answer is you. You're the good dog. Dogs naturally crave human approval. Praising your dog can boost their self-esteem and will help them understand that you are a friend. Did you know that sometimes dogs exhibit behaviors that suggest they think they are in charge of the household? Check out this video to find out if your dog secretly thinks they are the boss.